This is it. It's a Saturday Soft Pot Club. Welcome, welcome. Please like and share this. Subscribe, buy kits. You can get them from my website, softpots.com. I've been told to get this in before I start talking about soft pots, because once I do, I forget all about that. And I mean, what's been going on? The soft pot garden keeps going all year round. And if you've just tuned in and you don't... Oh, hello, Karen. Oh, hello, Lexi. What colour's your hair today? Lovely girl. Yes, thank you for joining me. You know, it's what, the 10th of February, and it's still, you know, the garden, most of the garden's really sleeping. But with a soft pot garden, it goes all year, because there's always plants that are just at their peak at this time of year, at the right time of year. And I just thought I'd show you some of the stuff that I've got here. Now, we're coming into the love season, and soft pots are the most wonderful way of showing love, giving love, being love. And I've been sort of working on doing the soft pot garden at Henshaws and just giving it a slight love theme. And here, now, believe it or not, this is a soft pot. A soft pot, by the way, is a handmade fabric plant pot suitable for any plant, indoors or out. They can be really small, really big. They can take trees, vegetables. You can grow vegetables on your washing line, up your wall. If you have to move, you can take them with you. Soft pots are perfectly portable. And this is one that I made. And if you can see, there's its little heart shape. It's all been outside, completely sodden. But there we go. That's an example of a soft pot. And yes, this is going to go into my soft pot garden at Henshaws. Oh, hello, Wills. Oh, lovely. Thank you for joining me. I was just showing people how sculptural soft pots can be. Wills is a sculptor, very good sculptor, but it's metal. But this is soft sculpture. And look, see, you can just make so many different things. And this is just beautiful. Right, and then what else have I got? I made this last week, if you remember, and I sort of tizzed it up with a few feathers. I mean, soft pots wear feathers. I wasn't keen on it when I made it the first time. And the wonderful thing about soft pots is if you don't like it, change it. Nothing's fixed. They're very forgiving. And I thought, as it's a sort of love season, it seemed quite an appropriate sort of dress for such a flamboyant plant. Right, I just popped that there. And then what else have I got? This I sort of felt sorry for, and I put it in a soft pot because I just think it's beautiful. And when it comes on, see its little frilly edges? Yes. And it's just got a beautiful sort of egg shape, if you can see. Yeah. And I mean, that's going to go in my bathroom. I don't think I want to put that out for sale or otherwise. Let's see how it gets on, eh? And then here, now, you know, I was saying about soft pots, they're paintable, decoratable, sculptable. Now, I am not a sculptor by any means. I'm not even an artist. But with the soft pot, you can make a statement in the simplest possible way. Now, I don't know if you can see here. Downstairs, you know the old thing, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil? Well, I had a response to that, and mine was 3 little figures that say, I see, I hear, I speak. Because I think people ought to speak up a bit more and see a bit more about what they're looking at and comment on it. Anyway, I thought, oh, they're looking a bit old. I'll just make another one. And then I started making 3 more figures, and I thought, actually, no. And what I did was I turned it into see love, hear love, and speak love. And these are my little figures. And this is hear love. That's the hear love one. This is a speak love. And they're just painted soft pots and they haven't even got plants in them. So that's Speak Love. Now, if I was any sort of artist, I'd be able to do an awful lot more than I do. But with my limited capacity, this is what I did. And of course, this is See Love. And if only people would work a bit harder to see love, hear love and speak love, then it would amplify in the world, wouldn't it? And anyway, just in case I didn't get the message, I found 3 little heart-shaped stones and I wrote the names See Love, Hear Love, Speak Love. So hopefully they'll get the message when it's all by itself at Henshaw's. And yes, this little fellow, soft pots, you know, they wear jewellery, feathers, beads, shells, sweet wrappers, milk bottle tops. Your whole world changes once you've made, 3 or 4 soft pots. You get what I call soft pot eyes. Everything you look at, you'll think, can I put that in a soft pot? Can I put a soft pot into it? Can I build a soft pot round it? Could I wrap a long soft pot round it? I mean, once you get it, the idea, there's just no end. Honestly, the only limit really is your imagination. Yes, anyway, this is one of my little favourites, and it's not too wet. Everything's been sort of outside. Now, I think I showed you this one. It's still one of my favourites, and again, it's got the factor. You know, when you see babies and puppies, you can't help it, you go, Well, that's a heart sound, isn't it? That's the love sound. And when you see a soft pot like this, you can't help it, you go, It's the heart sound. And yes, I mean, this is just a little soft pot that I popped inside a bangle, just a thick bangle. But again, you see, you look at these things and you think, why am I looking at that bangle like that? And then you realise you're looking with soft pot eyes. Oh, hello, Steve. Thank you for joining me. Yes, I'm just showing plants, big soft pots, big, little, all the different forms, because it's very, very hard to actually say that's a soft pot, because they can take so many forms and shapes. They're completely mouldable, completely sculptable, and best of all, I love living plants, and you couldn't have a better home for a soft pot, for a plant, than in a soft pot, apart from the earth, of course. I mean, plastic and terracotta pots. When I see plastic and terracotta pots, a lot of the time, to me, it looks like cruelty, because I know better. Soft pots are so much kinder to the plants. The roots grow normally, you don't get root spiralling, they can breathe, they're fat-bottomed girls, they sit on the earth and absorb the ground and the rainwater, and they're much, much less prone to being blown over. I mean, soft pots are plants with personality. This one. I made this frilly little girl. I just saw it in the plant centre and it was on sale and I couldn't resist. And it's just the frilliest little azalea. And what I've done here is I've got a nice little collar there. And then I've got a skirt. I mean, actually, you can see it's knickers. Now, it's not very often that you say that. You can say that about a plant. Oh, I can see it's knickers. But isn't she beautiful? She's a little dancer. And she just reflects the plant and the vivacity of the plant. And it reflects its colours too. And, if you reflect the colours that are in the plant itself, you really can't go wrong. It's like wearing a blue jumper if you've got blue eyes. Just enhances it. Just enhances the whole thing. And yes, talking about that, I made a rosemary the other day and I thought there's something wrong with that. Couldn't work out what it was. And I'll show you. You probably remember it. And anyway, I realised that it was missing the colour blue. The blue flowers that the rosemary will have. And so I just popped in some more blue. And now I'm really, really happy with it. And that will just kickstart the plant and it'll go, well, it already does, doesn't it? It goes, hello, I'm beautiful. And all you need, to make a soft pot is one little plant, one humble little plant to make you happy. I mean, soft pots are about love. There's no doubt about it. Hi, Tinky, where is everyone? I don't know. I don't know. At one point, there were quite a few people, not today, but recently it's sort of gone down a bit. But I suppose that's the way it goes, isn't it? Hello, Annie's Land, from me in Rainbow. Rain Andromeda. My Saturday smile time. Hello, you lovely lady. Yes, thank you. See, Steve, there's some people here. And, people watch afterwards, don't they? Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Soft pots, soft pots, soft pots. And, yes, soft pots and love. I mean, it's all very well giving love to everyone, isn't it? But, most of the time, we're actually lacking self-love. We actually need to learn to love ourselves more than all this love that we're giving out. Love is as much about giving to yourself and honouring yourself. And I find that when I make a soft pot, it just, because I'm working with a living plant, the soil, my own creativity, it connects me. It connects me to the earth. It's healing. Soft pots are incredibly, incredibly healing. And when you've finished, you can't help but feel in love. It invokes the love feeling. You go, I just made that soft pot. It's the heart sound. Yes. And that, it engenders love within yourself, for yourself, in the healthiest possible way possible. You're working with a living plant, the earth, your own creative spirit, and actually all four elements. I mean, an ordinary standard plant pot. I should show you. What have I got? Oh, this one I thought I'd bring in. I thought I'd bring this one in because, can you see the buffalo? Now, I made that ages. Mention the new subscribers. Oh, yes, thank you, new subscribers. Thank you, Steve, for reminding me to remind. Thank you. Carol Higgins. Hello, love. This is a lovely colour. This is your colour, isn't it? This is for you, Carol. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. Golden lady. Yes. Oh, thank you for joining me. See, Steve? But I'm bringing this out to show you that, soft pots are reusable. They, depending on how you build them, this is built as classic soft pot, so I can reuse it. And I started this soft pot off when I was at the Royal Antediluvian Order of the Buffalo, because my garden was there for 2 years. And I just thought that I would honour them by putting in one of those buffalo emblems. And there it is. And anyway, that was a couple of years ago now. But there we are. That's the plant pot. And I've just quite simply reused it. And that's a little hanger. That's a type of hanger. Right, I'll just pop that there. Oh, and I've got Big Bertha. You can do big ones, small ones, indoors, out. Now, this is Big Bertha. I've had her many, many years, and she comes on tour with me. And as you can see, she's a nice, big pot, beautiful pot, happy plant, and they do get much bigger than this too. I tend to limit myself to the things that I can pick up. But I do have big trees in my garden, but, I have a means of stabilising them so that I don't have an enormous base that I have to lug around. I have a small base, and then I make long sausage soft pots, stockings, and I fill them with gravel, and then I'll wrap them around that base, and that adds extra ballast. And so I can go into the middle of any field in very, very difficult conditions with very tall plants, and I have a means of stabilising them. And that's a handy thing to do because, soft pots move, shift just so quickly, and you can take a garden and move it and set it up within a couple of hours. And, the soft pot garden has moved twice in 6 years. Now, normally, if you move, that's it. Your garden's in the ground and it's gone. And I can't tell you how many times I've put money into gardens and then had to leave because it was rented. Soft pots, you can take them with you anywhere. And the only reason I've still got the soft pot garden is because I could move it. So yes, it's an alternative form of gardening. It's an alternative form of container gardening. And I would say that it's better. It's better for the plant, it's better for the planet, because you're using recycled stockings, tights, materials. And I would also say it's the most fun you could possibly have with a little plant. And you know, oh, they're perfect for children in schools. They're totally sort of non-prescriptive. Apart from, as long as they're made right on the inside with a soft pot gold, no problem. You do need the soft pot gold though, because otherwise, if you put just compost into a leg of thyme, it constricts, and after a while the whole thing just goes and disappears, and it turns into you can't get water or feed or anything into it. The whole thing dies. So what you need is something to stop that compaction. And after many years, I mean, I invented soft pots over 15 years ago now. It's taken a lot of experimentation I have been doing. But having said that, the first thing I ever tried was the best, and that is soft pot gold. And I'll show it to you. It's a natural mineral, and it comes from the volcanoes, and they blow it up like popcorn. And you see, look at that, beautiful. And it's very light. And what it does is that when it's mixed in with the compost, it's pH neutral, so it doesn't matter whether it's ericaceous or not. When it's mixed in with the compost, it stops that compaction happening, and it absorbs the water and the nutrients. A bit like porridge, it releases it slowly. And it is just the best thing to make a soft pot with. Don't bother with that perlite, plasticky stuff. Every time you water, it all moves up to the top. And after about a week, it looks like the aftermath of a festival. Stick to soft pot gold. You can buy it from my website. You get a lot of it, and it goes a long way. Even if you don't want to buy the kit. Now the kit is £20, and that includes the postage. And you'll make a good 6 or 7 soft pots. It's got enough gubbins there to get you going. It's a soft pot starter kit, and it comes with 9 balls of colour and glitter, sequins, ring, full colour booklet, soft pot gold, and bits of material, bits of glitter, bits of sequins, all sorts of things. It's a very good kit to get. Get the kit, make yourself happy. www.softpots.com. You can get me there. Maybe Steve will put up a link. And you can always contact me, Annie at Soft Pots. I'm here, talk to me. Yeah? Oh, hello. Barbara Hall. Goodness, hello. Thank you for joining me. Yes. Right, here we go. Oh, and this little fella, I mean, I just bring him in all the time because I really like him. And he's really old, and he was in York with me. And it's a good example of, you know, getting a bit of junk and turning it into something really special. Make a soft pot round it. Yeah. Right. Now, what have I got? I don't know if anybody's actually going to make a soft pot with me. Hello. Probably not. I think everybody's out in the rain shopping. Well, let's have a look at what I've got. Oh! My hands are still a bit wet. This is an old one too. And again, you know, this is just a painted one. It's been outside for 6 years. And I just come along and just give her a little facelift. I just wish it was so easy to do that for myself. Oh, hello, Nasha. It's coming to give you a kiss. Thank you for joining me. Yes, I was just talking about love. I mean, oh dear, I mean, love. It's that time, isn't it? Coming into Valentine's. And love is the latest thing, the greatest thing. It seems to be perennial. But, I mean, sometimes if you love the wrong person, it can be a total affliction. And really, I mean, worthy of a medical note. I mean, love does affect you that way. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's akin to a possession. Mind you, having said that, it only becomes awful when you actually attach it to someone. I find that if you can just use the energy, I mean, when you fall in love, what happens? Actually, you're falling in love with your own reflection. It's your love. And this girl came to me and she was broken-hearted. And I said, look, you know, if he doesn't want your love, keep it. Keep it, it's yours. And use that love. Use that love because it's an energy and it can stoke your own furnace of creativity. Just use it. And every time you think of him, just go do something beautiful. Use that energy. I mean, love is an energy, and we suffer from the attachment, I guess, as a result. But anyway, you know, what did Shakespeare say? Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediment. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. No, it is a fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is a star to every wandering ship, its heights unknown, but its worth be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. And I can't remember the rest of it. I think it was a Shakespearean sonnet. Anyway, yeah, he's right. Real love sets you free, and sets your lover free too, rather than imprisoning them, which often seems to be the case. I have to say. Right, what have I got? I've got a little sage plant here. I mean, salvia. That's all about healing, isn't it? And healing and love and making soft pots, they go hand in hand. Yes. Oh, hello, David. Ah, thank you for going on that march in London. Yes, I'm up here in Harrogate. Not too much happened up here, I have to admit. But ho to you for going. Save our NHS. Yes. Right, what I've got there is 3 scoops of regular compost, and I've put 1 scoop of soft pot goo. And when I mix it up, it sort of looks like a scummy sort of cake mix. There we go. Da-da-da-da. And you know, even if you leave it completely naked and don't dress a soft pot, see how beautiful it is? Outside it looks like stone, and you can build with them. You can make soft pot bricks and build wells, walls, all sorts of things. You can go wild with soft pots. But that's what it should look like when the mix is ready. And you can see it looks like a sort of scrummy sort of cake mix, doesn't it? Right, what have I got? Yeah, I've got a little sage plant for a change. Let's have a look. Now, I've got a Lego stocking around my ring. The ring stocking all comes in the kit, by the way. And I find that if I want to make really pretty soft pots with shiny bits, then I need to use the sheerest, shiniest, glossiest stockings I can get my hands on. Generally, I get tights from Primark and then chop them off. That's the best place to go that I know of. And I mean, they're an Irish company. And yes, you can use blonde, you can use any other colour. But generally, I tend to find that black tends to show all the colours and not look like a stocking. Whereas blonde stockings can look a bit more like tights, you know what I mean? But I do use them, and I do use heavy-duty stockings, but as you know, in a specific way. I did that last week and I think the week before, how to use heavy-duty stockings. So, right, what we've got here, got a bit of gravel. You need some gravitas in your soft pot. You need some grounding. And I've just popped in some gravel, enough to give it some weight. And then I'm just going to, best way if you're filling up a soft pot, you know, is don't stick it on there because it'll go all over the place. If you actually let gravity do the work, you'll find that it should, with any luck, just drop in. I'm just holding it over the top of the bucket and then just using my scoop to just pour it in. Now, if I wanted to make it a really, well, there's different techniques for making bigger pots. But sometimes you can cheat a little bit to get a bigger pot with a leg of stocking by just tying a knot higher up the leg and chopping off the foot bit, which is narrow. And then you start off with a sort of wider base. That's a good way of getting... and there's other ways, lots of other ways, of course. As you can see, there's much, much bigger soft pots, and you have to go beyond a leg. Right, that was the bounce. Just did the bounce, dropped it on the floor. I'm doing the donut. I'm squishing any lumps that I might find. And if I can't squish them, I'm getting them out. And then, don't need the ring anymore. Going to take it down. Ba, 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 ba. Going to just stretch the neck to give it some idea of what it is you're going to ask of them. Take your little plant. Now, I'm just going to stretch the neck any way I can. If you've got children, just hold the neck open for them. But with any luck, you just drop the plant in over the top. Tie that loosely at the over so that it doesn't get in the way. And then here, I've got the plant sitting on top of the compost. I'm going to take my thumb and just put it on the shoulder of the plant as a guide. And then I'm just going to lift up the compost and just tuck it into bed. I always tend to think of them as a bit like children. Pop them into bed and just bring up the blankets. And I'm just bringing up the compost up to its neck. Give it a little stretch. Now, sage gets quite big, and so before I repot it, I want it to have a nice start in a reasonable sized pot. Because as it will get bigger, the roots will come through the bottom. That will tell me what's happening. And what I'll do then is I'll connect another soft pot to it. And you can just keep on doing that. Eventually you finish up with something that looks like a pagoda. A very, very, very pretty pagoda. It's a lovely way to grow tomatoes. And of course there's no root disturbance. So, right, what am I going to do? I'm just going to take the end of this stocking. I'm just going to cut it. Slice it again, get myself a stretchy bit of string. Going to tie it round here. Now, this is the one that I always show on the Soft Pot Club. And this is called the Simple Soft Pot. And it's called the Simple one because it's the simplest to do. And also, it's the most useful in a way. It's not a reusable pot, but it's one that you can play ball with. It's a non-spill pot. And so if you live in a house that's full of clumsy people, dogs, cats, and you move a lot, this is the plant, this is the first one that you would do. And it's very, very useful. Now, there's lots and lots of other, loads and loads of other things that you can use, styles. And if you're interested, you can sign up for my course. And that comes, it's a downloadable course. And this is just a bit of a petticoat. I'm just going to wrap it round. Yeah, it's a downloadable course, comes with a kit, comes with everything you need. And let me know if that would be of interest to you. You know, if you'd like to become a soft pot maker, I can help you do that. I mean, it's a handy thing to do. It's a lovely thing to do. It makes you very, very happy. I mean, soft pots do. It's just, I don't know. It's, you know, because of the soft pot gold, which comes from volcanoes, you've got the fire element. So actually, when you're working with a soft pot, you're working with earth, air, fire, and water. You're working with all 4 elements. And I think that makes a difference as well, you know. And then when you're decorating it with your own creative spirit. And when you've finished with something, once you've finished your soft pot, you have something that, if you ask me, every single one of them seems sacred. There's something sacred about them. It honours the plant, it honours your own creative spirit, and, you know, between it all, it just creates a happiness. It's hard to describe, and it's a shame that you're just there. Try it yourself. Make yourself happy. Get a soft pot kit and, you know, make yourself happy, show yourself love, and then make your kits, make your pots, and give them as wonderful gifts. And they are the most loving gifts. Right, what am I going to do? Got a little bit of green. Now, when it comes to decorating soft pots, I always say use synthetic materials. But this is the only one. This is the only material that actually isn't synthetic. It's, I call it colour grass, and I think it's used in the carpet industry. And behind me there, see all those beautiful colours? That's what makes soft pots so personal. You can make a soft pot to match anybody's colour, anybody's decor. And the nice thing about it as well is that because it's sort of, you know, its nature is sort of a bit carpety, anything that you put on there will stick and it acts like a grip. And that's one of the reasons that you don't need pins or anything sharp and pointy. Right, I'm just going to pop that there. And I've just popped that round, and that's my base coat, if you like. And, ooh, let's have some blue. They say blue and green should never be seen, but personally I think they're my favourite colours. Yeah. And again, I'm just basically building a dress for a fairy going to the ball. And once you start, you might not be thinking, oh, fairy going to the ball. But by the time you've finished, you know, you'll find that your inner fairy has come and found you. And you have made a ball gown suitable for a fairy going to the ball. And generally, when I ask myself, does that look like a ball gown? Like a fairy going to the ball? At that point, that's when I say, that's it, that'll do. Because people always say, ooh, you know, how do you know when you finished? It's all so random. And look at it, it's just totally random. And I'm just taking bits of material, any bits that I fancy, and I'm tucking them underneath the colour grass, in between the layers, and you can just keep adding all sorts. And after a while you get really hungry for different things, different textures, different materials. I mean, it really does encourage you to get out your inner jackdaw. If you've got a closet full of materials, synthetics, only please. If you use anything that's a natural material other than the colour grass, cotton, silk, sacking, linen, felt, all of those will rot between the layers and they go slimy and horrible. Don't do it, don't do it. Stick to synthetic materials. And you know, there's just so many different things. You go to jumble sales. Oh, and you can have synthetic, you can have synthetic walls. You can involve synthetic walls as well. And I find them, I'm just always on the lookout for things that are, ooh, don't know about the orange. Hold on, what have we got? Sage. Right, and again, you know, these are just bits of walls that I've picked up. I mean, I always say use some acrylic wools. But if you make a mistake, you'll find that after about 4 months it's been outside, suddenly you'll find that, you know, you'll notice that the real wool sort of goes a bit sort of mouldy looking. But I rather like it. I call it patina. But if you don't like it, you know, soft pots are washable. You can just take a damp cloth and just wash it away. And if they're indoor pots, by the way, they sort of go a bit dull because they've got a bit dusty, because houses can be really dusty. Again, I just take a damp cloth, wipe the pot, and it all comes up bright and shiny again. And you can just keep on adding loads and loads and loads of different things. Sequins. You can put some sequins in. And let's put a bangle on, eh? Yeah. Just going to pop a little bangle over the top there. Ba-ba! Make sure I'm just tucking a little bit under there to make sure that it gets it. That's it. And then the grand denouement. Now, if you've got any bits of glittery bits, wonderful, wonderful. Ooh, got a few sequins. Anything shiny, you have permission to release your inner jackdaw. Right, okay, let's have a go. Let's see what we do. Ba 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 ba. Gonna walk it down, gonna stretch my fingers, take it down, over the top, all the way down to the bottom. But I'm not gonna pick it up. Don't be tempted to take all this stuff and shove it underneath, because you don't want to do that. Not at all. What you want to do, and see how dark it is? And that's a 10 denier glossy. Now, it would be much, much harder. Now, there's compost here at the top. I haven't made it quite tight enough. So what I'm going to do is you pick up the stocking, grab it underneath, see where it's clear? And grab it, bring it down over my arm, pull it down. I'm just going to knock out some of that compost there. You want to bring it down quickly over your pot, because if the compost gets caught in this, then in your decoration it can be quite difficult to get out. So if you wish to contact me, you can do so by email. Oh, thank you, Steve. Thank you. Right, what I'm doing is I'm going to push this all back up. Ba, 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 ba. Pull it down. Push it all back up. And I'm pushing it up above the level of the base there. Going to bring it down. Now, this next bit, there we are, you can see, I'm not unhappy with that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it. This next bit's called the twizzle. I'm going to turn it upside down. See there? Twizzle it. And what that does is it forces the tension in the stocking to become as tight and sheer as it's possible for it to be. See? Ta-da! Then take that, tie a knot. Now, actually I probably should have gone back and corrected my mistake. I didn't tie the ties as tight as I could have. So, there we are. Now, but this is live and this is what happens. And I'm going to take a slice of stocking. Cut it again. Take that. Just going to lift up that bangle. Tie it. Tie that piece of tie that I had right underneath the bangle, and that forces out the shape of the bangle there. Now, I soft pot is born. I can give it any shape that I want. And at a later date, when this gets bigger, I might cut that tie that I made there and stretch it a little bit so that the neck, actually, the plant itself has more room. But at this point in time, that's just lovely. And that's a nice little neck. And one of the interesting things you can do, you know, is, see that neck? Now that that's all been tensioned, see if I'm cutting, as I'm cutting that, it's just opening up and giving it a really pretty little polka dot look. Can you see? Oh, can't. There, see? Ta-da! Now you can only do this when the stocking is completely tensioned. It's pretty, isn't it? See? Right, well, now I've made my soft pot. All I'm going to do is pop it in a little bowl, fill it with water up to about there, about halfway, and just leave it for 10 minutes and it'll just suck up the moisture, and when I pick it up, it won't be drippy or soggy, and all I need to do is put it on a little dish of some sort. Now, what did I do with them? I always lose them, don't I? Oh, there. When I say little dish, it's not, it's a lid. It's just the lid of a yogurt tub. But they're just absolutely perfect for protecting your furniture and presenting a soft pot. Because you don't want a big, deep bowl like that. Only for watering. The only time it should go into a deep bowl, really, is watering. If you're doing outdoor plants, plunge them and just leave them to drain outside. When I say plunge them, just the first time necessarily, just wait till all the bubbles stop rising and then take it out. All the soft pot gold crystals will be charged and they're good for a week. If they've got indoor plants, the way to tell whether or not a soft pot needs watering is you can't tell from the side. They're a bit like children. You have to hold them. You should feel the dampness underneath, and actually you can tell by the weight. After a while you get to know your soft pot, and you can just tell by the weight. So that's this. We're done. Well, I hope today has proven interesting. Join me next week. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. Maybe mushrooms, maybe something a little bit more different. And until then, I do hope that you enjoy the week ahead. Wishing you joy and ease. Thank you for joining me. Please share if you come to the end here. And please contact me if there's any way that I can assist you. And bye for now.